Guys, hello and welcome back to the SpursRelated YouTube channel and podcast. I hope everyone is doing very well on this Friday evening. Today, wow, we have got a massive episode. I mean, what hasn't happened at Tottenham today? We've had two here we goes. We've had one transfer saga that's reaching the end, the conclusion. Does he stay or does he go? Maybe should have been my title, but today we are wrapping everything up. We want the chat to give their say about what is happening, and there's already 40-50 of you across all socials, which is absolutely brilliant. There's loads of comments I've already got to get through, which I'm buzzing to bring up on screen for you guys. But today I am joined alongside Andre of SpursRelated all the way from Canada. Andre, how you feeling, mate?
I mean, I can't even describe how I'm feeling right now. This is probably the busiest day I've seen for Tottenham in a transfer window, at least in my time of cheering for them. We have two here we goes, probably one of the biggest players in Tottenham's history in the longest time ever is like reaching this point, this sort of fork in the road of what's going to happen next. And now we're being even in sort of, we're looking into other players now, which is a little concerning on what might be the decision.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, Taremi is one that's just come out of the blue in the last 20 minutes. Who knows what is going on? It is concerning me that we are linked with so many different strikers. We've signed one, and now we're linked with 1, 2, 3 strikers as well. We've got Gift Orban in the mix, which I'm sure we'll get into. I mean, it's crazy. But, guys, there is already 30 comments that I've unread. So, time to read them. We've got Felix in the chat. Felix, always good to see you, mate. And thanks again for that membership the other day. Guys, if you do want to grab a membership for exclusive content coming up, giveaways, and member fan phone-in shows, the link is down below. I believe it's £2. And it goes a long way to help this channel out. So really appreciate all the Spurs-relatable support. We've got Lynch in here. He says, if Bayern's bid is being considered, the next obvious step will be seeing if Spurs are looking at strikers. I mean, like I just said, it's concerning. Spurs lad, always good. He sent his DiMarzio legit. He is tier 1. He is tier 1 on our books. He says Spurs are looking at Taremi. We've just posted it. It's all kicking off. I mean, there's news coming around. I'm just waiting on a bit of news about Kane. I reckon I said it. I think he's going to stay, but every time a bit of news comes out, I'm getting more and more concerned that maybe Bayern have met the 100 million. But guys, let us know how you're feeling about it. Are you not too bothered? Do you think we need to move on? Or are you absolutely heartbroken? I don't know where I stand. I know I'm going to be upset. I know it. Adrian saying, good evening. Oh, Adrian, good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for joining. Got Jazz Jones in here. Says, yep, must mean Kane is off skis. If I'm a betting man, exactly that. Got Zach Birkin. Zach, always good to see you, mate. Love your comments. He's saying, I think he's definitely gone, guys. I think you might be right. Jazz Jones saying he's 31. Taremi. Perchy TV, great channel, mate. Loving your content as well. Congrats on the 1K recently. And yeah, keep going, mate. Always good to see you. And welcome on the channel anytime. Give me a little DM on Twitter or something. Zach is saying, who is Taremi? Plays for Porto. Striker, Iranian, I believe. Decent goal scorer in the Portuguese league. But listen, you know, we had Carlos Vinicius that was a decent goal scorer. So who knows? I've actually got a super chat, which I'm going to whack on screen and skip the queue. That's what super chats are there for. And as it's loading, here we go. Gray 561. Big yourself up, mate. Thank you very much for the super chat. It does honestly mean a lot. And he's saying striker links, Maddison not selecting number, influx of cash for VDV and Tapsoba. Sadly, Harry Kane is gone. Great comment here, by the way. He's thought about this. Maddison, we haven't heard his number, have we? He's not. We thought he'd be a number 11, but maybe he's waiting for the Harry Kane number.
Yeah.
Would make sense. It's a very good point. What do you think?
You know what? He points something out very perfectly here, which is, yeah, knowing what kind of player I would be, right? If I was Maddison and I possibly could get the number 10, I would wait. It makes 100%. I'm glad that you brought that up, Gray, because Yeah, I mean, all the stars are aligning, all the little notes, the little nitpicks, the little hints, they're there, right? We're being linked to strikers, and now Madison's even waiting for that number. And I mean, what other number would you wait for? That's all it is.
Exactly. It's a concern, isn't it? Do you think he'll go for that number?
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, if the Harry Kane era is finally done, it would make sense he'd go for that 10, and it would be the start of a new one, the start of a new era for Tottenham. Yeah. It's a whole new
Yeah.
chapter if Harry Kane leaves.
Concerning. Andre, do you want to take the next super chat?
Which one is it?
Jazz Jones, right here. It's a super sticker. What have we got? Got a thumbs up on YouTube. I can see it on the YouTube screen. Big yourself up, mate. Thanks also for the super chat. And guys, if you do want to add a super chat and create a new talking point, like the two guys have just done, Jazz, if you want to whack a comment in, we'll bring it up. I know you just said it's just a sticker, but if you want to ask a question, you've just supported the channel, so you can skip the queue. No problem. I am going to go back over some of the comments and welcome some people in, and then we will get into things. Jazz Jones saying, big up James and Andre. Not so giant. Glenn Meadows, perfect, mate. Always good to see you. He's saying, hope everyone's having a good Friday. Zach saying, we're actually being laughed at on other channels. If we don't win anything, I think Tottenham fans need to start protesting against Levy. I'm being serious. Going in circles is just wrong. I'm sure a lot of people share the same opinion, right, Andre? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think that Harry Kane, we're losing a lot of goals if we get rid of Harry Kane. And I know a few people have said that other signings and the Harry Kane saga are two separate things, but I still think, and I still very much stand firm, that if Harry Kane leaves, the entire dynamic of this transfer window changes, because it's, when you think Tottenham, you think Harry Kane, and he won't be a part of this club anymore if he leaves. So,
and someone noticed the other day as well, it's all like subliminal messages kind of thing. On the Tottenham Twitter, we changed our banner from a Harry Kane one to someone else. I mean, it's the small details, isn't it? Madison, it's a really good point earlier from Gray.
yeah.
I mean, absolutely. What's Madison's number? He's been a Tottenham player for a month now. We don't even know what his cemented number is. You'd imagine it was going to be 11. Now is it going to be 10? You know, it's just, it's a very, very good point. It's one I hadn't genuinely thought of, to be perfectly honest with you.
Would you retire the number though for a little while? I don't think so. It's kind of hard to retire a number 10.
No, someone mentioned about retiring. I'll find that comment in a minute. Yeah, Felix. Do we retire the number? I personally don't think so. As much as I absolutely love Harry Kane, I don't think you retire that number just like, no. It's different if you're he is an absolute club legend, without a doubt, whether he leaves or not. But I don't think you retire the number 10 personally. I don't think so. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think in the chat. Let us know what you think. Astra's saying Kane's picture has been removed from the Tottenham website. Oh, God. It's over, innit, lads? It is over. Guys, I'll do a couple more comments and then we'll get into Van de Ven. Let's have some positivity. We've got the Van de Ven. Here we go. We've been talking about this guy for about 3 years, apparently. David saying, hi from Leicester. Big up, mate. He said, if Bayern did give Levy a deadline, then Levy will give them the middle finger. Love it. Finn's in here, says Jamie Donnelly 10. Harry Who, says David. A few new names as well, guys. Big up yourselves. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe on the channel. Already 25 likes. Let's see if we can get that to 50. Like you said, like, I'll always be honest with you guys. I never like plugging the likes and stuff, but it helps us grow. And we obviously want to reach as many Spurs fans as possible, like-minded Spurs fans. Vitruvius is saying the second half team looked much more fluid. I agree. Without Kane, we've got to be positive about this, guys. If it happens, it's going to be sad, but you know, Tottenham Hotspur still exists. We're not Kane related here. We're Spurs related. At the end of the day, Tottenham is still going to be Tottenham Hotspur. We've come back from like worse situations, like Gareth Bale leaving. Look what happened 3-4 years later. You know, we got to a Champions League final. We didn't win it, but we finished our best ever league position and so on. So James Joris, big up everyone. Crazy day. Finally get a centre back and make a signing. Yet our greatest player might be leaving. Could be a day to remember. It's why we had to go live, guys. We had to go live today. It wasn't even a debate. Oh god, I keep seeing Fabrizio Romano tweet, and I just think the next one's going to be about Harry.
Oh yeah.
Something about something else. Crumbs. I can't even keep up. I mean, Harry wants to go, says KB, can't deny it and need to accept it. That was in the Fabrizio Romano tweet, which we'll get into. He did mention that Harry Kane does want the deal, so I feel like we've got a mini deadline day today. It's absolutely crazy. Dry Rose Peanut, always good to see you. He said Madison is taking that 10. Anyone else watching the Championship first match? Not Leicester. Southampton are playing Sheffield Wednesday, I believe. But we got bigger fish to fry than the Championship games, my friend. But no, enjoy it if you're watching that as well. Jokes aside, he doesn't have a distinctive enough number yet. Exactly, it's not like it's. I don't know. I can't think of one like David Beckham's 7. Even they didn't retire that. You know, it's just I don't know. CR7, Ronaldo, Real Madrid didn't retire the number 7. You know, it's just not a thing. I mean, Birmingham retired Jude Bellingham's number, which is just an absolute madness in my opinion. That's enough comments for now, guys. Keep commenting, keep smashing like, keep smashing subs. Absolutely love it. Put your super chat in if you do want us to sort of stop talking the transfers. Whack the super chat in. We'll bring it up. We'll talk about your talking point, as I mentioned, or become a member. Do that thing. But Andre, let's talk Van der Ven because we have talked Harry Kane for the last 20 minutes, and I do want to mention the centre back we finally signed.
Yeah, we finally got our man. We got Van de Ven. It's a here we go 50 million euro package plus add-ons. As we had said yesterday, guys, like I was just a little concerned because Daniel Levy, he always likes to lowball. If you ask for 25, he'll give you 23. If you ask for 10, he'll give you 8. But he met it. 50 million euros plus add-ons, contract agreed until 2028, and he'll be heading to North London to do his medical on Saturday. So fantastic news, even, Kane stuff aside. How are you feeling, James?
I'm buzzing, right? It's such mixed emotions today, right? You've got Harry Kane, potentially one of our greatest ever football players, potentially going to Bayern Munich in the next, could be live on this stream. You could genuinely see live tears soon, guys. But we could also get that he's staying and Bayern Munich haven't met what Daniel Levy wants in order to let Harry Kane go. And at the same time, at lunchtime, we're feasting on a here we go, Micky van der Ven. And even overnight, we've feasted on a here we go from a striker, which we'll mention in a minute. I mean, what a crazy 24 hours, like you said, Andre. It's gone from literally being so quiet, and I thought this channel is literally in the mud because we haven't even got Tottenham news to bring you, to the most ridiculous 24 hours I think we've had for years. So, my thoughts about Van der Ven in particular, wow, amazing signing. It's the one I wanted. Left centre back, can play left back, left footed, strong, powerful. Am I unsure about his aerial ability? Yes, I am. If you check websites like FB Ref, the Y Scout tool, he really does struggle in the air. Romero also not the best aerially either. So you think to yourself, what are we doing in terms of defending corners, which we were absolutely awful for last year? But trying to stick on the positives, as we always do on this channel, although we're obviously going to be transparent and be honest about our thoughts. Very happy. I think this is an 8 out of 10 signing for me. He's still young. He's still got time to develop. But my goodness, we needed a defender, didn't we, Andre?
No, totally. And the thing that I like the most, it's Ange is the one that wants this player. It's not that we've gone for the second choice or something. This was a guy that showed up immediately alongside Tapsoba as someone that we were linked to, and we got him. This wasn't some B tier thing. Ange wanted Van de Ven, and we got him Van de Ven. So I'm very excited to see how this guy is going to be used in Ange's system. That's my main thing. So yes, 100%, 8 out of 10. And if this guy becomes even better than what we're thinking, because again, at the end of the day, it's not like he was part of some huge club. So it's not like I'm gonna lie here and say that I've seen all his games, but all from the highlights I've seen, he's good, he's pacey, he's what we need in this kind of system.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the guy is absolutely rapid, beyond belief. I mean, we've all seen that clip. If you haven't, go and check it out on YouTube. He was literally running from the other team's half, and he ran all the way back and beat the striker that was through on goal with pretty much no goalkeeper. I think it was the last kick of the game or something. And he cleared it off the line. It was one of the most insane clips defensively I've seen in the last few years, genuinely. It reminded me of when Ledley King ran back and tackled a pacey Iron Robben back in the day. And it was incredible. Check out that Van de Ven clip. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you've seen it already. It's mad. But listen, I'm not making the judgment of how good Van de Ven is based on one clip. I've done my research. I've done my homework. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I watched Micky Van de Ven in a Wolfsburg shirt every game last season, because I didn't. And I'm sure 95% of the people in the chat haven't. However, looking into how his season has been under at VfL Wolfsburg, he has massively impressed. He has been a fantastic part of their defense. And he's promising. He's 22 years old. You know, it's not like we're signing someone that's 26, 27 that we're unsure is that good. This guy's good now, and he's going to get better. Left-footed, he is strong, he is pacey, and he is exactly what Ange Postecoglou clearly wants, because he plays progressive football, he plays a high line, and Romero and him are going to be playing very high up. We almost need that inverted fullback to come and then cover at times. You'd even get the number 6 to drop deeper, which is what happens in an Ange system. If you look at Celtic, I'm sure we can do a bit of analysis later, but you've got you had McGregor in the number 6 who dropped deep and then brought the ball forward and pushed it to the number 8s, who then drove the ball forward, played it to the wingers, and the wingers then become interchangeable. I'm getting excited thinking about Ange Ball as we speak, but this was a key part of that jigsaw. If we don't have the centre-backs Ange wants, this is never going to work. Technically, a lot of people are going to be writing in the chat right now. I can already hear them going, who cares now, James, if we've got this centre-back? We're not going to score goals. Do you know what? We won't score as many goals without Harry Kane. However, I think that's more solvable than what our defence was last season. Our defence was a disgrace last season. 60-something goals conceded. The first team to concede 60-plus goals and score 60-plus goals in the Premier League since 2008. Who was the last team to do that? Tottenham Hotspur. So at the same time, you've just got to think to yourself, yes, Harry Kane leaving could be an absolute massive loss, like to the point where we won't score as many goals, but we can get a striker that's half as good as Harry Kane. And don't forget, we've got the wingers chipping in. We've also got James Maddison who will be chipping in for goals next season. And Richarlison really should have a better season. Like him or not, I can't see him doing any worse than he did that last season, where he scored like 4 disallowed goals and 1 goal. So I'm trying to think of this positively. We were screaming out for centre-backs. We've now got it. I don't want to hear people then complain. What I will agree with you on is if we don't get another one, because I think we still need a Tapsoba. Whether we'll get him, I'm not sure. Is it going to be an Adarabioyo? But guys, let us know what you're thinking. Van de Ven, are you buzzing for him? Or do you think maybe we still need that other centre-back? Whack your thoughts in the chat.
Yeah, I also think, to an extent, I'm gonna quote Mourinho here. I know that he plays more defensively, but he's had that famous quote. Now, I'm probably butchering it, where he said, if the other team can't score, you can't lose. Yeah. So on my end, if we're still scoring goals, maybe not at the extent that we will with Harry Kane, but we're keeping clean sheets more often than not, it's fine. It's 3 points in the bag right there. So I'm happy about this, but I agree. We cannot rest our laurels on just one good center back. We need another one. I'm a little concerned because I did see some news extra from Dan KP from the Evening Standard earlier today saying that we might have cooled our interest on Tapsoba. It might be because, again, since we've really upped the ante here and Daniel Levy has splashed the cash, 50 million euros for Van de Ven plus add-ons, I don't think he's going to want to meet another 50 million for Tapsoba. And that's without including add-ons. And it might even be more, right? So we might be looking elsewhere. Now, I really do hope that we don't B-tier this and we still get someone at this level.
But Andre, the only thing I'd say about that is, yes, 50 million euros for Micky Van de Ven with add-ons, which is potentially around 50 million euros, which could be about 40 million pounds. However, you could say, okay, now we haven't got enough for a centre-back. one, I shouldn't think that should be an excuse anyway, but we know it will be. But two, we potentially have 100 million British pounds coming in if Bayern actually meet the meeting price for Harry Kane. So if we lose Harry Kane and 100 million pounds then gets put back into our bank account, what do you think? Do you think there's then no excuse to get taps over, right? Or do you
I
think
would
we
say,
use that money for a striker? What do you think?
see, that's the tough one, right? Like you have to think our options, what we have, and the potential. Will a Kulusevski, Richarlison, Son trio work for Ange? Will that be enough? Or do we need to get someone more? I personally think you might need to risk it. Get a really concrete defense that helps us keep a lot of clean sheets this season and just see what happens between Son, Richarlison, and Kulusevski. You spent 60 million on Richarlison, then act like it and trust him in the amount of money that you spent. If you spend 60 million on a striker and you don't trust him to lead the team, then you've got issues.
Yeah. But do you think we're going to get like 2 or 3 cheap strikers? I don't want to cover the Kane thing too much. It's separate. We'll later talk about Harry Kane. Of course we will. We might even get a live update live with our reaction. Who knows? But I just wanted to manage sort of everyone's thoughts in terms of if Harry Kane does go, which is looking kind of likely in some respects, are we then going to invest in 2 or 3 options which we rotate, or are we going to go all out for a Kolo Muani, who apparently has asked Frankfurt he wants to leave, right?
Yeah, I know that Jack's been mentioning a lot of these different strikers throughout the videos, and now it's like it's almost like as if the club listens to our channel, and then those links come in.
They do. Right,
But,
Andre, let's catch up on chat because we've been talking a lot about Van der Ven. It's good discussions, but I want to get the Spurs relatables involved as well, of course. And guys, across Facebook and YouTube, I can see there's 110 of you watching us right now, which is crazy numbers. But smash that thumbs up button for us. It is free to do so. And come and subscribe to our YouTube. If you're on Facebook and you've got a YouTube account, come on over. Smash a subscribe, turn those bells on, and say hello on YouTube. And we will obviously interact with you guys. But what I would also say, while I'm still doing the smash a like button and subscribe talk, watch along potentially on Sunday with myself, maybe Jack as well, but potentially myself and a guest for the Shakhtar Donetsk friendly. Shall we do a watch along? Shall we do a live chat and talk about the game? Let us know. Let's see if we can get this live video to over 50 likes, and I'll make that happen. But Teslim is saying no one had heard of Højlund when Atalanta had signed him. Exactly. So there's a lot to consider in terms of players you might not have heard of. Really cool graphics. Shout out to Joe, our designer for this one. Was it Joe or was it JC? It was Joe, wasn't it?
This one was JC, I believe, but our next one coming up soon.
Check him out on Instagram. We've got a great collection of designers in Spurs related. And guys, if you don't follow us on Instagram, go and check us out. We do have 67,000 followers on there. We do all the latest news and all the talk. So if you need all your transfer news, do let us know. Do go and check us out. One more centre back and a striker, even when that Kane will be strong, says Gray. I do agree. Derek's saying Postecoglou apparently wanted Van der Ven at Celtic. I did hear about this as well. There's him saying no, we won't. We still need a defensive mid. Glenn's saying ability and talent and chemistry and coaching equals success. Sounds like Ange Ball to me. This is a great comment. Vitruvius probably absolutely butchered that. Apologies. Van der Ven, despite his difficulties in the air, is a good partner for Romero. It will allow Romero to step into the midfield and be more aggressive this season as he can cover with his pace. Exactly what I was saying. Although we might not be able to defend corners, we will be much more solid at the back. That is for sure. Teslim, always good to see you. He's saying this thing isn't black or white. Madison may flop. We are speaking of goals on hypotheticals. It's not realistic. This is all based if the signings work. I completely agree. I completely agree. I'm just, at the end of the day, Teslim, I'm just giving my opinion on how I think it's going to go under Ange, how I think it's going to go with these new signings. And I'm just, at the same time, trying to picture life without Harry Kane potentially. I'm trying to picture how these signings fit in. So I agree. What I could be saying could be way off. Van der Ven could be a complete flop. I'm not saying he won't be. I'm not that naive. But all I'm saying is based on my research, based on my stats, and based on seeing footage of Van de Ven playing, sometimes live, he is a decent player and he's young. He's 22 years old. You've got to remember that. He is going to be in his prime in 3-4 years, maybe 5-6. He is going to blossom under Ange. I'm so confident with that. And do you know what? He can't be any worse than what we had. We had Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer, Japhet Tanganga, Joe Rodon. It got to the point where it didn't matter who we got in. We just needed to freshen it up. It had gone more stale than if you ate bread 2 weeks out of date. It was dead. And no one can disagree with what I'm saying there. Zach
like
saying
that.
Romero will also be a complete player this year because he will gain confidence in his partner Van de Ven as time goes on. Exactly. This is one thing I didn't mention. I think Romero will step his game up and be that Rolls Royce that we all were hoping he would be this season for sure. 100%. Lynch is saying we need to sell. Agreed, sell. Adrian saying other centre-back options. Schurz, Bremer, Adarabioyo, Ibanez, Nelson, and perhaps Tabsoba. Completely agree. We've got Felix saying, yeah, we have easily 50 million from Deadwood in our team, probably more. Cocky saying, I hate the fact that we want Taremi. We'll get on to strikers in just a minute. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat. Spurs lad saying strife of Bastoni again. Dry Roast Peanut saying isn't the 50 million euros with add-ons included with Van de Ven. That is correct. So 50 million euros all in apparently is the final fee. The human and not robots, so anything can come into fruition in actual gameplay. We've also got Mwani will go to PSG. Could see that happening, to be honest. Osimhen or Kolo Mwani, Felix would rather have. Probably be Tosin and Phillips as our third and fourth. Jack's saying class video, and Jack's here. Jack is here. Look at that. Brought him straight in. Jack, how you doing?
James, I'm doing well. I've struggled to get home from work. My family are out. This is the problems of not driving, but I'm here. So glad to be part of the Spurs-related stream.
Love it, love it. And there's plenty of them in here tonight, Jack. 110 people watching across Facebook and YouTube tonight. Absolutely loving all the Spurs-relatable support, of course. And if you guys could smash a like, 45 likes, we're near to that 50 goal. Can we get it? Glenny Meadows saying hi, Jack. We've got Derek Smith saying Richarlison will be better, as will Son. Veliz will be interesting. And if Kane leaves, I think we might well be in for Gift Orban. And Veliz will be very interesting. He's gone from interesting to very interesting. The same message, Derek. Hope you're well, mate. It's always good to see you in the chat, of course. We need Orban and Moani personally. We need another top defender, Tapsoba. We end up going in again. But guys, I think we need a top class 6. Maybe next window, Paulinho. 100%. Elvis, it's been a while. How are you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're good. Absolutely watch along. Brian is in. Brian Hill, not the Brian Hill we're thinking of. Spelt Brian Hill. Absolutely love that. He's saying Levy slow plays by until Kane can say goodbye. Spurs lad, do you think we will replace Højbjerg? We'll get onto questions like that in just a minute, Spurs lad. But I love the thoughts. Nearly caught up. Deadline. Apparently, Levy. there's a midnight deadline to get this sorted with Kane. Apparently, and Levy's so laid back and just like playing just hard to get kind of thing with Kane. He said he's going to go to midnight in the UK and not in Germany, which is an hour ahead, which is absolute just completely hilarious, to be honest with you. Craig liked my stale joke. Craig, hope you're good, mate. Zach saying, guys, we need to get rid of dead wood. Once we get rid of the dead wood, we can start again in the changing room. It will be fresh, good vibe. Yeah, it will smell a bit nicer in that changing room, won't it? Teslim saying we should sign Marcos Leonardo from a Brazilian striker with huge potential. Oh, I'm out of breath, guys. No wonder. There's 100 of you commenting stuff. But absolutely love it. Keep the support going. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. Let's get a bit of thoughts with Jack. Jack, haven't heard your Van de Ven thoughts yet, of course. Yeah. Are you happy with this? Do you think he'll succeed? Or have you got some concerns? Let us know.
James, I'll tell you what. The feel-good factor is back here at Spurs-related. It's back here at Tottenham. And I feel like we've really pushed the boat out on this signing. 50 million euros on a signing. When was the last time we spent that money on a centre-half? I feel like it's massive. I feel like it's a really big deal, and I think he's going to be brilliant. I've said it before, I've said it yesterday, but finally it's over the line. There's nothing to worry about. Well, we say this with Spurs, you never know, but I feel like it's a big signing. I feel like it's a big change, and I feel like we haven't done this a lot before, but Levy has realised the real centre-half issues we have going on. I can't wait to see him in a Spurs shirt.
Absolutely love it. We were just talking about his aerial ability. What are your thoughts on that?
So, like I said, I did a lot of research before, and he likes to wait for the second ball rather than go in there. He is 6'3". You'd like to think that he's going to attack that first ball, but he's kind of a composed centre half, and he waits for the second ball, and he then waits to attack the defence. Attack the strikers. So it's kind of interesting to see his game style, but that might complement Romero, who we know is very aggressive. So I'm looking forward to see if it comes to fruition. We've obviously got Shakhtar Donetsk and we've got Barcelona. So hopefully he can have those games to kind of bed himself in.
Yeah, exactly. I still feel like we should have done more preseason games, but a bit late now. We need to sign Suki. Always good to see you. He's saying we need to sign Gift Orban. A name floating around in the Spurs Twitter community at the moment for sure. Thoughts and prayers to people who have already bought a Kane shirt. I mean, he's still a legend, right? He's still a legend.
Yeah, I have one. I have one Tottenham shirt, and it's got Kane at the back. So, yeah.
Oh, I just keep looking at my phone at the Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, and just I know something's coming. I know it. I can smell it. I can smell Fabrizio Romano tweeting something that's going to either ruin my evening or make my evening. But some people I've been talking to, and guys, maybe this replies for you. I just if Kane wants to go, let him go, and we move on. But my thinking is, I agree with that to an extent. But if we let Harry Kane go, we are going to be so much worse off. I have to say it. I think we'll survive without Kane. I still think we can do well. But we're going to go from having a world-class striker up front to a bit of an unknown territory. Would you agree, Jack?
Definitely. And I think with Harry Kane, you have the best striker in the world. And no matter the system you play, no matter the manager you have in charge, Tottenham are a better team with Harry Kane in it. And for me, the guy has given so much to us. He's given me some of the best moments in my life as a Tottenham fan, and to see him go to a Bayern Munich would just be heartbreaking. Yes, it might happen. Yes, we have to build on the money we're going to be given and kind of move for the future. But he's such a good player. He's a Tottenham boy. You would love to think he's going to stay, wouldn't you, for one more year? And I feel like, James, if we really hit it off this year with the creative 10 we have in Maddison, with the centre half, hopefully, who's going to be as good as we all hope in Van der Ven, you feel like there's a lot to build on. You feel like Levy, something's finally clicked. He's realised, right, we haven't given that financial output that we have this window, and we're going to finally build with this new exciting manager. I just hope Kane can see that. But he's kind of stuck through it, hasn't he, James and Andre? He's kind of stuck through the rut. He's realised, and now he kind of feels like he has to move on. It's got, like you say, today's deadline day. We're going to find out, but it's very nervy. I really don't know which way it's going to turn.
Yeah, 100%. Who knows what's going to happen? Andre, thoughts?
Yeah, as I said in the previous episode and in episodes in the past, I myself have been a bit worried about what's going to happen, but also my heart has accepted ever since 2021 when he was waving and saying, crying and waving around the stadium that he might go that time. So I've accepted that one day he will go. Even if he doesn't leave now, one day he will go. So it's up to us to decide when he goes, how he goes. Does he leave for free? Does he bring Tottenham a lot of money? I only have one Tottenham shirt, and it's a Kane one. And even I'm okay with the fact that if it's his time to go, it's his time to go, and it's time for a new chapter for Tottenham. So we'll see. That's where I'm at with that.
Well, very well said. Exactly that. If it's time for a new chapter, we have to move on, and we have to accept that all good things come to an end, is the saying here. But let's see. Zach's saying, smash the like. Let's see if we get to 100 likes. Let's see if we can get past 50 likes, and then let's see if we can get 100, Zach. But loving the positivity. Let's smash that in. See if you can smash the like, guys. Free to do so. Cole Constantin, welcome on in, mate. He said we have to move on from him. He did his best, but at the end of the day, we owe him nothing. Yeah, good point. At the end of the day, Tottenham Hotspur still moves on without Harry Kane. We're still a football club. We're not Harry Kane FC, although some people joke, and Pep Guardiola joked, and then look who stepped up in that game against Manchester City in the Champions League quarterfinal. Quarterfinal. Heung-min Son.
Yeah.
We've still got good players other than Harry Kane. We just haven't got Harry Kane, who is phenomenal. We know how good Harry Kane is, but Tottenham will still carry on, for better or worse. That's part of the journey. We're all on it together. What happened to the Ashley Phillips deal? Wasn't it supposed to be done today? Nothing confirmed yet. I still believe that we're in the same situation, Andre, aren't we? I think the £3 million is what they wanted.
Yeah, it's basically there's a clause that gets activated today, and they were just waiting to see if anyone else was going to match that bid. There hasn't been any news on that since then, but I would assume that by Monday, Ashley Phillips is a Tottenham player unless some other team is dying to sign Ashley Phillips. So I wouldn't worry about that one.
Yeah, and who could be that club that's dying to sign Ashley Phillips? I'm not so sure. I think we should have this one on wraps, right?
Yeah, I would say so, but I'm just going to not jinx it. I'm going to leave it at that and hope for the best here because, yeah, I mean, he could be someone who steps up the ranks over the coming years, and Ashley Phillips will be someone we'll talk about more in the coming seasons.
There we go. Andre, I know you've got to hop now, guys. The stream isn't ending. Don't all suddenly click off. Myself and Jack are still carrying on with you guys for another 20 minutes or so. But Andre, you've been superb. I'm sure you've enjoyed the stream, as has all the Spurs relatables, I hope. But Andre, we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, thank you guys, and all you Spurs relatables. We'll see what happens next with Tottenham, and unfortunately, I won't be here to see the Harry Kane saga end if it does happen live on stream. But we'll see what happens. But anyways, take it easy, everybody.
See you later, mate. See ya. Take care. Right, Jack. Let's move on. Let's talk. We've talked Van der Ven. We've talked a bit of Harry Kane. What's next? Let's have a look. Well, actually, I'll get your thoughts on Harry Kane quickly. It is decision day, as we have been mentioning all stream. Class graphic, by the way. Jack, where's your head at? Where's your heart at? Because for me, I still think he stays, but I'm getting a bit worried.
James, Harry Kane holds so much sentimental value to myself and so many Spurs fans around the world that it's so hard to talk about, which sounds sad really, but when you invest so much time into a football club like we all have here, all the Spurs relatables watching us today clearly care about so much about this decision that it takes such a big impact really. And Harry Kane is probably the best Spurs player we've seen over the last decade alongside Gareth Bale, really. And it's a real big changing point. So it's either Harry Kane stays, and for me, I really hope he does stay. I feel like the best Tottenham team we can have is going to have Harry Kane in any starting 11. And I think he adds so much more than a Richarlison, maybe a Gift Orban that we're talking about bringing in. But at the end of the day, Spurs are going to have to move on either way, if he does move on. But it's hard to see a Spurs side without him in it, but we are going to have to move on anyway. But I do think he's staying. I do. I feel like he's happy either way. We've got Harry Kane, potentially 100 million euros, but he's worth more than that. He's a 30-goal-a-season striker. The potential of having him in a Spurs shirt for another 3 or 4 years and breaking the Premier League record, I feel is worth more than that, than what they're bidding. And he's got his family here in London. It's really hard, James. It's really hard to see which turn he's going to take. But I feel like it could be a really exciting year, along with these centre-half signings we're going to make with Harry Kane in Tottenham starting 11, especially in a new Ange Postecoglou era.
But Jack, loved everything you said there. But with Chest, are you saying he's going, or are you saying he's staying?
You're putting me on the spot, mate. You're putting me on the spot.
What are we doing here, Jack?
We do that. I think he's staying. I think he wants to.
He's staying.
I think he's going to be part of the Postecoglou era, and I really hope he's staying. We're going to find out soon. It's going to be exciting. It's big news. Either way, there's going to be big changes needed. But I think the idea of playing with Madison, Kulusevski, Son, a creative 10 behind him, supplying him with more chances, with a settled base of Basuma and maybe a Lo Celso next to him, as well as a Micky van der Ven, who we've got the Here We Go on. It's an exciting era at Tottenham, and I genuinely believe, I know it chops and changes. I know I get frustrated as being a fan. That's the love and passion I put into my club. But Kane staying adds such a new exciting element, because you've got a guaranteed 25 to 30 goal striker a year, as well as the creative element and solidity at the back. I think he's going to stay, James. I really do.
So I've just put a poll in. Guys,
Yeah.
everyone watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, come and join this poll on YouTube now, on SpursRelated YouTube. I've just put it up 1 minute ago. So far, 27% say stay and 73% say he's gone. So there's more in the other camp, Jack. More people are saying he's gone.
It's hard. It's really hard to sway either way. I feel like he loves the club. But for me, and this is controversial, I want to hear the Spurs-related take on this, is that Bayern Munich is a massive club. But the only club I can really see him going at and guaranteeing a Champions League is probably Real Madrid or Manchester City. And winning a Bundesliga compared to winning even an FA Cup with your boyhood club that you've played at your whole life and your whole family support, surely that means more. Surely you want to stay. He can break the Premier League record. He's got the chance of winning an FA Cup and a League Cup. And you never know, if we add world-class elements, a shock chance of winning a Premier League. Surely that means more. I know I'm looking at it from a biased point of view, but I would love him to stay, James. What do you think? From a financial element, I understand that maybe it's best he moves on, but for the thrill of watching Tottenham next year at our fantastic stadium, surely you'd want him to stay as well.
Oh, Jack, of course I want Harry Kane to stay. Of course I do. But do I think he's going to? I'm starting to lose a bit of faith. Although every hour that goes by when Plettenberg or whatever the geezer is with like the 7-inch forehead, I mean, what he said that deadline days we'll know in the next few hours. I think he sent that out at 2 p.m. So I don't know what's happening, because it's 9 o'clock UK now, nearly, and it's like, what is happening? Is he gone? Is that it? Are we about to see an announcement? Are we about to see a Here We Go? I'm not so sure. But at the same time, is the silence good or bad? I really don't know, Jack. And in terms of financially, yes, of course, it makes sense to sell him now if he wants to move. Fabrizio Romano says he wants to move to Bayern Munich. But I trust Fabrizio Romano. But do you think Harry Kane is sitting there and going, I really want to go? Or do you think he's saying, accept the bid for me, it's the best interest for both sides, the journey's been great, Tottenham will get 100 million and I can go and win trophies? I think that's more his thinking.
Exactly. I think he's been really smart about this deal. He's realised with Daniel Levy, you can't push the boat out. You can't say, I want to go, sell me now, because Levy is very stubborn and he thinks about the club financially. Do I think that Harry Kane wants to go? I feel like he's definitely open to the idea, because he doesn't want to be known as one of the Premier League's greatest strikers to never win a trophy. But at the same time, he's got the option of definitely breaking the record staying at Spurs, and the small possibility of winning a trophy, because at the end of the day, as much as Spurs get clowned on, we've got a fantastic squad. We're not miles behind the best. We saw how quickly Arsenal and Chelsea accelerated. Arsenal not being in Europe, there's still a chance there. And I think, like you say, in football, the hope is what kills you. And being a boyhood club, you'd like to think Harry Kane can see himself still delivering that trophy. It's just whether he's kind of lost patience and believes that he's got a real chance of winning the Champions League with Bayern. It's a real 50-50. And honestly, James, I couldn't tell you the answer. But it's exciting hours ahead, because you've either got this massive rebuild or you've got a Tottenham side with fantastic new additions with Harry Kane to add alongside that fire. So honestly, I'm extremely excited. And either way, we're always going to be Spurs fans. That's the team we love. That's the team we're going to get behind. So exciting hours ahead besides.
100%. 100%. Richie B's got a very interesting take here. He's saying, is Levy pushing through signings to show Kane he's serious about squad rebuild? Because at the same time, you've got to almost, if Harry Kane stays, you've got to convince him that we're actually, bringing in players, we're taking the Ange project seriously, and we want to compete for titles. There's no point Harry Kane staying here for another few years and essentially experiencing no progress and actually going backwards further, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You'd like to think Levy, something's finally clicked. To keep these world-class players around, to push to the next level, you need to invest in these big stellar signings. And Van der Ven could be one. The likes of a Madison, he's definitely one. A very ambitious signing, beating the likes of Newcastle with incredible money and also finishing in the top 4. So it's showing Kane that we care more, but has that hurdle fallen? Has he decided that I've got to move on? We don't know, and we won't know till there's a final decision.
So in terms of Richie's comment, do you think this is true?
I don't know. That's the thing. James, you'd like to think that it's been put in place. Kane either wants to leave or he wants to go. You'd like to think that he's 100% sure on his decision. But I can't. I think Levy's such a businessman at the end of the day that he wants the best for the football club, but he's not going to spend too much money of his own to convince Kane. But there is every possibility that he wants to show Kane that he cares. Of course there is, because Harry Kane's been one of the best servants to the club that we've ever had as a player.
Yeah. Lynch is saying, I'm excited to see what happens after Kane regardless. COYS, love that. Perchi or whoever, the guy who broke the news, just said 5 minutes ago, Spurs haven't responded yet to Bayern's bid. It's just come out that Spurs haven't responded to Bayern from a tier 1 source, Telegraph. Oh, crumbs. Oh, goodness. I mean, is that good or bad? Does that mean Levy's considering it or not? Levy is getting signings for Postecoglou, not for Kane. Good point, Derek. Very good point. It's Kane's choice at the end of the day now. If he doesn't want to leave, he won't, but maybe his teammates sway his thoughts. But then at the same time, he wants to win trophies. We can't do that. Yeah, that's true. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Like, if we keep Harry Kane, we've got to show ambition. We've got to show progress. We've got to show we're moving forward with the Ange Postecoglou project. If we don't show that, Harry Kane is going to want to go regardless. I mean, apparently Fabrizio Romano is saying that Harry Kane wants to go to Bayern Munich now anyway. But we've got to the stage where if he stays for another year, if we want him to put pen to paper on a new contract, we've got to progress. We've got to show ambition, and we've got to start well under Ange. How much time will Ange get is another question. You know, if we do start badly, if we start 11th, 12th, and then suddenly at the same time, he's not seeing any progress, Harry Kane's never ever signing a new deal at Spurs. But if he somehow stays, and then by December we're 3rd, 4th, we're challenging for Champions League spots, maybe, just maybe, he will sign a 2-year contract extension. I'm just thinking further down the line, because I always said I think he's going to stay, but obviously I'm genuinely not sure, as are all of us. But what I'm saying is, if he does stay and we do want to keep Harry Kane, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Of course, you want to keep Harry Kane. But he's going to want to see progress. And we have to give that time. And unfortunately, Harry Kane's going to have to be patient if he wants to stay, if he does want to see progress. Because Postecoglou's not turning us into a top 4 side again straight away. I can tell you that for nothing, Jack.
Yeah, it's really hard. I feel Postecoglou is like, he's got the fans back on side. He's going to show that attacking football. But we already know it takes a while for him to get across his philosophy and get across his vision. And I feel like Harry Kane, James, how long has he been at Spurs, really playing at the peak of his powers? Probably 5-6 years he's demonstrated that he's one of the best strikers in the world. And he probably deserves that move. But when you're got such an affinity to a club, it's hard to move on. I just don't know whether Bayern's the right club as well. I know I'm drifting off track here, but do you feel like a Bayern is a club that Harry Kane, you can see him at, James? Or do you feel like you expected him to be at a Real Madrid or a Manchester City in modern day times?
Oh, yeah. Real Madrid would have been the perfect choice, wouldn't it, Jack? Right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I felt like if he was going to move on, if he felt like, yeah, I'm sorry, this is just not doing it for me. Spurs, you're not showing enough ambition and you're not winning the Premier League. You're not getting into Champions League. You'd feel like Real Madrid is that next natural step. I feel like Bayern Munich, as good of a club as they are, and they have got a chance of winning the Champions League, it's not one of those real powerhouses. Real Madrid are the best probably club in the world, best club ever. Manchester City, you've got a real chance of winning everything. Bayern Munich, it just doesn't feel like it's that massive step. So for me, it's kind of a shame seeing him feel like he has to go there rather than waiting for that mega deal that he'd probably get at a Real Madrid or a Man City.
Yeah. No, exactly that. And Lynch is saying, what if Bayern don't offer Kane as much in wages as Spurs have offered him? I think he's genuinely been talked out of staying at Spurs. I think this is the situation we're in. I think his camp, I think whoever is advising him is saying he has to go and win trophies in order to be seen as this player that's, one of the best ever in his position. And unfortunately, we live in a world where it's cancel culture. Everyone's trying to say Harry Kane, score goals, break Premier League records and break Tottenham all-time record scorer, break the England record goal scorer. But actually, you have to win a trophy or you're not a world-class striker. He's getting advice like that. And actually, it's quite narrow-minded because in my opinion, and I like to use this one, Jack, if you're thinking of Alan Shearer, what is the first thing you think of with Alan Shearer?
Greatest Premier League goal scorer of all time.
Right. You don't think of his Premier League he won with Blackburn, though, do you?
No, you don't. You don't.
So therefore,
I guess it's a weight off your shoulders. That's the only.
I don't care because Harry Kane, if he broke that all-time record scorer, if he goes to Bayern Munich, he's heavily risking never breaking that. He's 47 goals off as it stands. That requires 2 good seasons at 25 goals a season.
Yeah.
If he goes to Bayern Munich for 2 years and he comes back and hopes that he gets the 47 goals done in 2 seasons at Man City or Man United, A, he might not be there physically. B, he might have injuries. And C, he might even get back into the Premier League.
He might not even be worth the transfer value that Bayern Munich might even want to receive at the end of the day. Like
he might never ever get out of Bayern Munich.
Right now, James, Tottenham's team is tailored towards a Harry Kane. Maybe not with Postecoglou, but in previous years, everything is through Harry Kane, and he knows he's going to get service, and he knows that he's the main man. If he moves to Bayern Munich and he has a couple of poor years, or they don't want to sell him, for example, he's going to struggle. And I feel like it's going to be a real regret because Bayern Munich fans, I can promise you, as much as they'll like him, they won't cherish him as much as us Spurs fans do. Naturally, he's a boyhood fan, been at the club for so many years and has broke so many records that we see him as this god almost.
Yeah, exactly that. Richie saying Liverpool will never be pushed into making a decision, I think. Bayern Munich shot themselves in the foot setting this deadline. Yeah, potentially. Zach saying Real Madrid would be the perfect choice, but I know I'll get 8 for this, but I do see him going to Man United if we don't sell him now. I think next season. I think I agree. Let's say Kane signs a contract next season, go City and break the record. City or United, probably. What else have we got? Taremi, very quickly. We're looking at other striker options, apparently. I say apparently, it's fact. It was... Who was it? What's the guy's name? Demasio recently has said Taremi, Porto striker, Iranian, decent goal scorer, has been top scorer in the Portuguese or one of the top scorers for many seasons on end. This is just based on knowledge. I'm not even looking at a screen. I'm sure Jack maybe has some stats further down the line, but I mean Taremi is a fantastic player. Is he Harry Kane? No, he's not. Is he near to Harry Kane? No, he's not. Why are we looking at other striker options? Are we finally finding a backup for Kane? Or the more proper reason is potentially Kane's gone. Read into it what you like. But I just wanted to bring up the votes. 44 votes. 64% people think Harry Kane is leaving and 36 think he's staying. It's still quite in the balance there.
It's on the fence. Yeah,
it is on the fence. Who knows?
James, for me, as much as Mehdi Taremi is a solid player, he's a decent alternative option. I would like to think the way Spurs have spent this money on a new stadium, the best training ground in the world, the best stadium in the world, fantastic managers in the past as Conte, Mourinho, you'd like to think Tottenham have better alternative options, or at least would look to the future for these world-class players. Taremi doesn't get me excited. If we sell Kane and bring in someone as Taremi alongside Veliz, our new signing, it's not going to make me think, wow, I can't wait to see them line up front as Tottenham's number 9. Tottenham are renowned to have some of the best strikers, like a Jimmy Greaves, like a Jermaine Defoe, like even Peter Crouch was brilliant in his time. It doesn't get me excited to be a Tottenham fan, like see him leading the line. I just feel like we got to set our sights higher than Taremi.
Yeah, exactly. It feels a bit panicky as well, doesn't it? Cheap option.
Yeah.
If Kane goes, he'll score goals, but probably not as many as Harry Kane.
Definitely not.
Interesting. Let's see how this one develops. It's early news. People are saying he's too old. People are saying he's 31. I'm not happy if we don't try to spend all the Kane money on one striker.
I feel like it has to be, James, sorry to quickly interrupt, it has to be someone that's young, you buy into a vision and you feel like he's got that real superstar power and he can bring that weight of someone like Harry Kane leaving on his shoulders and he believes he's the man. Someone like Cullen Moani. I'm a massive fan of Ivan Toney if he can get, once his allegations are finished. Someone of that ilk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can play in that role. Someone that you feel like, yes, that's my striker. I've got brilliant forwards alongside him with a Son, Kulusevski, Perisic, so Madison in behind. That will get me excited. But someone like Taremi is just extremely underwhelming.
It's a bit like, yeah, it is a bit like that. But guys, let us know what you're thinking about Taremi. If you're watching on the offline, do let us know your thoughts on this stream. Let us know your thoughts on the Kane situation, guys. All the support has been amazing. Thank you so much for all the comments, the super chats from Gray earlier, Jazz Jones as well. Big yourselves up. Smash the likes. Let's get 100 likes on this video. Smash subscribe and smash those notification bells on so you never ever miss a video from us. Guys, that's all we've got time for. Stay tuned, stay subscribed. Have a lovely weekend. We'll see you very soon. Hopefully, I think we're going to do a watch along on Sunday, but keep an eye on that community page. As always, guys, stay safe.
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!